Where's the music?
Hey-oh! Yeah, there's no
Oh,
music.
It's
Hey-oh!
there.
Yo! Live from Benlow Park, New England, Fornia. It's a Cheryl Sandberg Thursday here
yeah.
at
Whoa.
Business Pants Business Park. Joined as always by Emma Matey Lurking and Matt Pretty Lady Mascardi. I'm Bean. Once again, those from the random nicknames, just in order. I'm not saying anything. I just put
All
them
right.
right in order.
Just in case you thought Damien ever had a point, he doesn't.
I mean, it almost would have awkwardly worked out. Emma Pretty Lady Lurking and Matt Matey Mascardi. And I'm still
Except that
Bean.
it's like a little bit sexist because
It's a little
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
we're
totally.
talking about the way Emma looks and how Matt's
Totally.
cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like matey. I'll
today's-
take it.
In today's Harvard scented bag of Stanford coated nuggets called June 2nd, 2022, the world's most famous COO ever. I don't
Yeah.
think we'll ever have a more famous COO, will we?
Probably not.
No, female COO, right?
Oh, well, just COO. I don't. Do you have
I
a
would
more
say
famous male
period.
COO?
Look, if you're going to challenge me, I'm going to go look right now for the most famous
I like that.
COOs.
Let's put it this
You're gonna
way.
say like
I
John Toon.
Tim Cook was the COO of Apple, right?
Okay, but he wasn't famous when he was COO. But you're right.
No.
Now he's
No, it's
different,
while
though.
you're
It's
COO.
different. Yeah, I agree.
Let's put
All
it
right,
this
ready?
way.
Let's get
I
into it.
have.
Yeah.
I could not possibly name another COO off the top of my head except for Cheryl Sandberg. So I feel like
I
that
bet you
sort of
could.
clinches it
I
for
bet
her.
you could.
I bet you if I said some names, you would recognize them.
I would
and you
recognize
be like,
them, but I
"They were
couldn't."
COO?
Well,
yeah,
you know,
but while
you
they
know
were
an-
COO.
You know an infamous COO, which is the Theranos COO, right? He's
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
right.
More
There you go.
famous
Fair enough.
already.
Maybe.
No, here we go.
Maybe.
No, not true. Here we go. Cheryl Sandberg. Let's do it. I broke mine up into. Okay, I'm looking at Cheryl Sandberg today. I'm looking at her replacement, Javi Oliven, and I'm looking at Zuck. And I broke it down into categories: things I didn't know, things I hate, things I love, predictions. And you can give me a timer if you want. It's up to you. You ready?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Give them
Give
the
me like
timer.
a 40-minute timer.
You get 7.
Let's start with Cheryl Sandberg. Things I didn't know. In 2013, the Jerusalem Post ranked Cheryl the 8th most powerful Jew in the world.
Wow.
Right ahead of Israel's defense minister at the time. I got two quiz questions for you. Who was number 7 and what number was Zuck?
Oh, wow. Zuck had to be 2.
Okay.
And number 7 was my
favorite game
I
ever.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't,
Just
I-
pick a
I
famous Jew. Come on, go ahead. You must
I
know
don't
one.
know. Woody Allen.
Seinfeld.
Okay. You're both in the right category. At number 7 was Jon Stewart.
There
Oh,
we go.
okay.
All
I
right.
feel
So
pretty good
we're
about
in the
that.
ballpark.
Yeah,
Comedians
you're in
is what we're
ballpark.
doing, basically.
What number was Zuck?
I say 2.
Matt says 2. Emma.
I say 3.
How about this? He was number 16 to Cheryl's number 8. That's
Sorry,
bullshit.
false. That is
Calling
that
up
is
the Jerusalem
that is-
Post. That is pure bullshit.
That is
I'm gonna need some methodology. for that.
greenwashing.
Yeah, we'll look into
at
that
its
later.
best right there.
Moving on, let's talk about Fortune magazine. They have a list every year of most powerful women in the world. I did a little bit of number crunching. Cheryl Sandberg, what was her highest rank? Was she ever number 1? What was her highest rank? What do you think?
I bet
I
she
think
was.
I think she was probably in like 2013 before everything started sucking for her.
Yeah.
Her highest rank was number 5. Her average rank was 7, but on the
Damn.
list every year. Who has the most number 1s on this list? Anyone?
Michelle Obama.
This is Powerful Women
Whoa.
in Business.
Powerful women in business.
Oprah Winfrey.
Most number 1s.
Oh, it's a good
that's
one. I like that.
That's a good one. I was gonna say
You're both wrong.
Indra Nooyi.
It would be Mary Barra, number 1, 3 different
Oh.
times. I want to tell you some of the key buzzwords.
Really?
I took all of Cheryl Sandberg's bios from every year she's on the list. I think it's like 10 years. And here are all the buzzwords from her bios. Controversies, crackdown, issues, misinformation, flaws, under fire, conspiracy theories, data privacy issues, critics, slapped, mishandled, antitrust, negative attention, congressional grilling, blunders, fake news, online hate. This woman gets a lot of shit, is what I'm trying to say.
Back up. Slapped.
Yeah.
Slapped.
I'm
in
just.
there. You
I
said
pulled all the
slapped.
negative words and I put
I'm
them in a
just saying,
list, Matt. That's what I
slapped is
do.
in there. Who's writing that? Okay,
And
go.
I'm gonna remind you both that there used to be happier times in Cheryl Sandberg's life. That's back in 2012. Here we go. Time magazine. Here's what they said about Cheryl. She understands intuitively the potential of social networking to create positive change on a grand scale. She's helping people make the most of a more open, more transparent world as Facebook creates dynamic new connections between individuals, organizations, and causes, connections with the power to brighten our shared future one click at a time. Yeah, Matt. Things used to be rosy and bright.
Do you remember when there was optimism? Do you remember
No,
that?
I don't.
No.
That seems like a long time ago. That was 2012, Emma. Things I hate. Cheryl's still on the board.
That's true.
Yeah.
She is that.
Yep. Things
Not
I
that
love.
it matters.
Things
Who
I love.
cares?
The new COO is not Kimball Musk. That's the only thing I can find that I love.
Yay.
That's it.
I don't love that, actually.
Actually, that might be kind of fun.
I
Predictions.
would have liked it better.
Will she be a future CEO? Remember, she's never been a CEO.
Yes.
Will she be a future senator, maybe president?
No.
Answer: no. She will be a fake philanthropist. That's my prediction.
I
gonna
like that
sit
you
around-
spelled it Phake.
I coined a new phrase. She's going to sit around like all the other old executives, and she's going to hand out money, and it's going to be accidentally press release, and that's what she's going to do. My other prediction: she'll be off the board by 2024. So she's
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The board is basically paying her for a few extra years.
Yeah.
That's just that's a money move.
Let's get to Javier Olivon. Javi, he's the new COO. Things I didn't know. He joined Facebook in 2007, right after picking up his MBA at Stanford. So he actually took a break from his work experience. It's not much work experience. I'll get to that later. And then right after his Stanford degree program, he was hired as its head of international growth or something.
He's hired the same time Sheryl Sandberg's hired.
Yeah, I was
actually.
about to say lockstep.
His latest job was chief growth officer, which does
God,
sound scary. I think you can
sounds
agree.
like
Chief
a-
growth officer.
It sounds like a late night pill for men.
Which
Uh,
wasn't
yeah.
that Sheryl Sandberg's title at Google? I think she's also
look
been
at
a
you. When you say
Yeah.
I think, you know, right? You
Yeah.
know
I'm
this.
pretty sure.
You're pretty
She
sure.
has definitely had.
Hey, Emma,
Yeah.
lean
yeah.
in
Yeah,
and
lean
don't
in.
say
You know
I
the-
think.
you know it's a fact.
Just state
You know
it
it's
as
a
a
fact.
fact. Lean in.
Here,
Drooping over.
this-
I don't want to lean in.
I analyzed Javi's hello Facebook post announcing COO. I got some comments here. First of all, he's an unpoetic thanker. He said,
Mhm.
"I want to thank Cheryl for everything she's done for Meta and for the billions of people around the world who use our products." I mean,
Did he thank Cheryl or the billions of people? I don't. Who's he thanking there?
You know what? I actually spent some time parsing that. I was a little bit confused too, but either way, completely unpoetic. You suck.
Yeah. Stop
Next.
sucking up.
Next, he doesn't try very hard and he's not creative. He says, it's hard to fully describe the incredible impact she's had at this company. Full stop. That's it. He doesn't try beyond that.
I'm not. It's
Didn't
hard
even
to
try.
I don't
Yeah.
do things that are hard. Full stop.
Can I tell you that's one of my number one linguistic pet peeves when people say like it's impossible to put this into words. I hate that. Just give it a shot. Just try. All right, here we go. He will hide, and they don't like when he talks. So he says he doesn't anticipate his role to have a public-facing aspect. He's going to be hiding.
Okay.
He's
That's
also corny and jargony. He said, "I'm going to spend a lot of time listening."
Oh well, he'll fit right in.
And he's deep. And when I say he's deep, I say he's really not very deep. He said, "My first job at Facebook in 2007 was overseeing international growth and expansion. This role gave me a global perspective."
I feel closer
was
to
funny.
him.
Things I hate. His growth team is one of the first to have a data-driven approach to growth. Even social good projects now have metrics attached to them rather than focusing solely on their aspirational
Yeah.
qualities.
Hopefully ratings.
I'm going to call out. I'm over my time, but you guys seem to be having
no,
a,
you're
Emma
not.
just
a little
added
bit of
another
fun.
minute. I want to
Look at
know all
that.
the things you hate. Give him
Things I
another
hate
4
for-
minutes.
From Fast Company. I'm calling you out, Fast Company, for this kind of journalism. As a child, they said he would paraglide in the Pyrenees Mountains.
Oh God, just punch
And-
me in the
Huh?
nuts.
And they also said The Fast Company said, and while he's not paragliding as much these days, if you were to peek into his office at Meta, there's a good chance you'd see his surfboard leaning against the wall.
Oh, he's cool, man.
And then they fall, and then they finish the article by saying, with his new COO responsibilities, though, it might be a while before he's able to catch the next wave.
Oh my God!
Come on, Fast Company, really, you can do better than this.
I've literally never read so much verbal fellatio in my life.
But that's his first. This is the first article they're posting on Meta's new COO. That's what they're talking about. That sucks.
If it was a woman, do you think would this be what we're talking about?
Of course not. I tell you the list of words for. Want me to go back to Cheryl's list of buzzwords? Do you want me to? No, you don't.
Slapped.
You don't. You
Will
don't want
Smith was in there.
What else? Like many Facebook employees, he's also dabbled in angel investing. I hate that. I hate that.
You know what? I dabble in handing out several hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What?
They picked out 3 companies he's dabbled in: Yaba, Readloadly, and GoPure. This is what I also hate. I looked at these companies. There's too many men. Too many men. Yaba, 7 dudes, 0 women in leadership. GoPure, two men in leadership, 0 women. Readloadly, 26 men, 5 women. There's a problem going on. I know I point this out every show, but I don't care. There's a problem. There's a problem in the world.
We don't have a problem with the name Reloadly. It just sounds like literally a mass shooting event.
It's because it's men that came up with it. And finally, I wanted to point this other thing I hate. This is according to his World Economic Forum bio. This is the experience this dude had before becoming International Growth Officer at Facebook. It says, prior to Facebook, Javier was a product manager at Siemens Mobile, and that was for only 15 months. And it says earlier he worked for NTT in Japan, delivering software, blah, blah, blah. 11 months. That's it.
That's his whole career.
Yeah, that was the career. And then he went to got his MBA at Stanford, and then he became the head of international growth, and now he's COO. Men,
proof you don't need experience when you're a man. We'll go over what Cheryl did before she got the Facebook job.
Things I love. Peter Thiel is gone. I still love that.
Yeah, well, who cares? He's
predictions. The first Javi controversy, despite trying to hide him, is going to happen in the next 12 calendar months. I didn't say 2022, but the next 12 calendar months.
I would like to recertify that. Yes. I agree.
Finally, let's get to Zuck quickly. This is from his Facebook post. First of all, he's basically saying, I was the dictator before, but now I'm the king and the dictator. He's basically saying that the COO role will be more traditional now, and you can't replace a superstar like Cheryl. So it's really
bow to me.
And can I just say that this really sounds fun? Listen to Javi's new role. Emma, do you aspire to have this kind of role? Javi will become our next COO. He will now lead our integrated ads and business products in addition to continuing to lead our infrastructure, integrity, analytics, marketing, corporate development, and growth teams. Do you want to do that?
Wow.
My answer remains the same. It's no.
That is a punch list of terrible.
Things I love. Peter Thiel is still gone. I'm really high on this idea that Peter Thiel is gone from Meta. I like it.
Like that.
I'm going to burst your bubble in a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Things I hate. There are absolutely no guardrails on Zuck's metaverse. It's mommy and daddy are gone. They're again like mommy gone, daddy gone. It's just Zuck's world now. Predictions. This is the Zuck era. You thought there was a Zuck era before? No, this is the Zuck era. Prepare for full creep mode. We're to see the new era of full Zuck creepiness happening now. It's on.
I am very excited for it. And hate my life. But there is one thing that you missed, which is in Mark's letter on Facebook. He writes, I don't plan to replace Cheryl's role in our existing structure. And in 140 words later, he writes, Javi will become our next chief operating officer. So after saying Cheryl's not replaceable effectively, he replaces Cheryl.
Full disclosure.
I like
full disclosure. That. I didn't actually miss it. I noticed that you made a note of it and handed it off to you because I did pick up on that nuance.
That's what
I did pick up on
for. Yeah.
All right. That's all I got. Cheryl Sandberg Day, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Cheryl Sandberg, part 2.
Yeah. I have 2 things. One is bursting Damien's Peter Thiel bubble. You know that he's just going to go and like terrorize other people and places, right? Like, you know,
I didn't say I didn't say that's not going to happen. I'm just glad he's gone from the meta world, the meta platforms world.
Yeah, no, Zuck's got that, you know, online terrorism, all set. Peter Thiel, they need him elsewhere. And number 2, I feel the need to correct myself from before because I was incorrect. She was not the chief growth officer.
Oh, okay. So you really did think. You didn't know.
Yeah. No, I really did
Lean
think
out.
that time. But what I was
Lean out,
referring to is
yeah.
the fact that her job at Google, when she was there, she expanded her team from 4 people to 4,000 people. That's what I read that I was
So
remembering.
That's your idea of chief growth officer?
Yeah,
she increased
grew
the number?
The people at Google.
That's not how it works, Emma.
Look, I'm very, very simple. I
Okay.
read the words. I go, oh, she grew something. Chief growth officer.
There you go.
clearly.
That's how it's done.
All right, moving on. All right. I have for you today a Cheryl Sandberg grab bag. So I have 3 categories. I have Cheryl's donation history, lean in Goodreads reviews, and Cheryl says.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
You guys, Damien, you can pick which category we do first.
Well, I'm going to pick an order of how you've presented it in the outline and say donation history. Otherwise, I get confused. So I like to read along.
Can't read along.
Okay. We'll work
Professional.
on that at another time.
I just wanted to point out to our audience that this is we do research. We do spend time preparing this. This is not off the cuff.
Well, you're seeing a little bit behind the curtain here, which is to say, we write these things that we say terribly down.
Yeah, it sounds like we just turn on a light and start like yammering, but no, we actually professionals. Come on, Emma.
I don't
Go
know
ahead.
which is worse. Then
Come on.
All right.
Come on, Emma. Do it.
Here is Cheryl Sandberg's donation history. So I'm a big fan of open secrets. I really like to troll around there. Matt and Damien know this about me, and they kindly let me do it as frequently as possible. And upon Cheryl's exit from Facebook, I felt like it was appropriate. So a couple of notable things. The Facebook PAC. Facebook has had a PAC since like 2012, 2011, and their PAC typically donates, actually not typically, exclusively over the years has donated to more Republicans than Democrats. If you look at like the charts, the red
You're blaming
bar is
Cheryl
always
Sandberg
higher
for
than the
that?
blue bar. And
Cheryl
Cheryl
sucks.
Sandberg has donated $5,000 every year between 2011 and 2018. However, she stopped donating to the Facebook PAC as of 2018. She hasn't donated since.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, follows the exact same pattern of donating $5,000 to Facebook's PAC
To the
every
PAC.
year. And he has done so beyond 2018 until 2020. So I'm
I
wondering
don't know what she's
if
talking
there's
about. Matt,
some.
what is she talking about?
I don't know.
She's
Numbers.
throwing out a lot of years, numbers.
I just hear growth officer. That's what I hear.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So I thought that was
So
kind
you're
of
saying she
interesting.
stopped donating to the Facebook PAC. So maybe she is
Yes.
preparing something. Maybe
That's what I was
wheels
wondering.
are
Run.
turning. But who
Especially 'cause
cares?
she
Does
had-
anyone really even care? I mean,
They should.
are we surprised
Damien.
anymore? Are we surprised anymore that corporations give to both parties? Are we?
Absolutely
Nah.
not.
Okay.
So, secondly, she
Yes.
has only ever donated that I could find to a single individual Republican candidate over the course
Yes.
of her entire donation history from like 2000 onward.
Only one.
One
Okay.
individual Republican candidate, which is Susan
Yeah.
Collins. She donated
Oh, yeah, Maynard.
$2,700 to Susan in
Well,
2017.
I'm torn on this one because she's donating to a woman. She's from Maine, but Cheryl, Susan was running
Cheryl.
against another woman, so maybe you screwed
Mhm.
that one up.
It's true. The other interesting thing that I found is that in 2016, Cheryl donated $10,000 to every single state's individual Democratic Party. Every
Even
single one.
Nebraska, even Nebraska.
Even Nebraska. Every single one she donated to their Democratic Party.
How many states
Yeah.
are there,
It
Emma?
didn't
Do
work.
you know?
It
Do you
didn't
know how many
work.
states
Cheryl.
there are off the top of your head?
50,
keep
I
going.
think.
Let's
I
get to the
think-
Goodreads reviews because I don't like open secrets. Come on, let's get to it.
All
Come
right.
on.
So Cheryl wrote a book, a famous or infamous book, depending on who you are, called Lean
Oh,
In,
come on,
about
be nice.
being.
Be nice. Yeah, it's
I'm
famous.
just saying, that's the truth.
It's not
I'm being very
infamous.
objective.
How dare you?
And I went to Goodreads and collected what are personally my favorite reviews that I saw.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, they're gonna be all happy. I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, because that's my MO for sure. Erin Knockenhauer gave it 2
Good name.
stars, and she said, maybe it's just me. Reading this book makes me want to lean away. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
I was with
kind
Erin.
of a pun, I guess.
I get
Yeah.
it. I
It's still
get it.
2 stars.
Yeah, 2 stars. It's not 1.
Yeah.
It goes downhill from there. Arian Jennings, 1 star.
Arian. Ugh,
Yep. Arian.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Um,
okay.
Cheryl Sandberg is a no for me. Who she is as a
Okay.
woman, her story, what she represents, all of it. No,
Ouch.
period. It should be noted, I had picked this book out of 3 other choices for a business management class. Unfortunately, I picked this book.
I'm starting to feel uncomfortable now. I feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
about some of this. Keep going.
And
Yeah.
then finally, we have Sean, who also
Sean.
gave Lean In 1 star, who said, an absolute waste of perfectly good paper. I was almost excited.
He doesn't know it's perfectly good paper. What kind of an assumption is that? How does he know that?
He doesn't work.
I
At
was
Dunder
almost
Mifflin.
excited to read a book about business and technology by one of the most influential people in that space.
I was
To my
almost
disappointment,
excited. Okay.
it turned out to be one of the most boring books I've ever read. The writing was repetitive. The writer was ignoring key economic facts, I suspect on purpose rather than out of ignorance. But the worst thing was the absolute lack of insight or innovative thinking. Anyone calling this book groundbreaking or brave is either delusional, getting paid to do so, or trying to get on the writer's good side. I would be better off if I left this book on the street where I found it.
He
You
found
found it
a
on the
book
street?
the
I don't believe
street?
that.
What was he
I don't believe
doing?
it.
I don't think he
Okay.
just found
Have
it
you
on the
ever-
street.
You're
People
pointing
leave
out something
books
important.
out.
You're pointing out something important here, Emma, and that is that how many thousands of countless male CEOs and whatever have written books nobody cares about, but a woman writes a book in the business world, and it gets a lot of shit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the quality of the book. I haven't read the book. I know that there's a lot of problems with Facebook and Meta. I'm with you, but
All of that
what I'm saying?
being said,
Come on.
this book
Yeah.
does have above 4 stars on Goodreads, so it's doing
so there you
just
go.
fine. Yeah.
That's
All
fine.
right. And
She's
finally,
fine.
we have the Cheryl
She's
Says
fine.
category.
Yeah, Cheryl says.
These are just some
Ooh,
quotes
I like
that
this. I like this.
from Lean In, just from articles over the years, statements she's given, whatever. These are some of the all-timers.
Come on,
in
let's
my
do
eyes.
it. Come on.
1. If you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat. Just get on.
No, false.
What? Wait,
Wow.
is that
Right?
like a
I think
lean
that
in
is
thing?
so
Wait,
incorrect. So
that's a terrible
wildly
idea.
incorrect.
Wait, what? I mean, that's
That's
so
a quote.
polite, first of all.
I do not want the center seat in a rocket ship. First of all,
And
Oh, yeah.
course-
Imagine not getting a window view. How terrible that would be.
I mean, like that's like the only
look
thing
at-
you're
look
going
at
into
the
space
Earth
for.
from this distance. I can't fucking see the Earth. I'm in the
Could
middle
you
seat.
lean over, please?
But this is part
in-
of her lean in philosophy, right? Emma, is that what
Yes,
she's trying to do?
yes,
She's like cleverly
yes.
saying, just get on the rocket ship.
which
LFG!
either, if you're talking about a job or a real rocket ship, I disagree
Yeah.
with. If you're talking about a job, no, I would like to ask how much I'm getting paid, how much other people are getting paid, what my
Yeah.
responsibilities are, what the
No,
expectations of me
shut
are.
up
Like,
and get on or get out.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's confusing.
Work
and
for free float
scary
meetings. Shut your mouth. Come
to
on.
me. And then for a real rocket ship, in the age of the new space race, I'm very much going to be asking what's going on the rocket ship. And
All
if
right,
I'm
get
there,
over
I'm
the rocket
probably
ship
being
now,
held
Emma.
against my will anyway. So,
Emma, get over it now. Come on, move on.
number 2. This is a doozy.
Okay.
When looking for a life partner, my advice to women is date all of them. The bad
Oh,
boys, the
don't.
cool boys,
Oh, we know something about her dating history. Yeah.
the
keep going.
commitment phobic boys, the crazy boys, but do not marry them. The things
Huh?
that make bad boys
Good
sexy
advice.
do not make them good husbands. When it comes time
Okay.
to settle down, find someone who wants an equal partner, someone who thinks
Okay.
women should be smart, opinionated, and ambitious, someone
like
who
it.
values fairness and expects, or even better, wants to do the same, wants to do his share in the home. These men
Yes.
exist, and trust me, over time, nothing is sexier.
Oh, guess
My-
what?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's actually not lying there. She infamously dated a bad boy recently and they didn't get married.
Well,
No.
she may or may not be lying, but she definitely is speaking to only one cohort of America. Definitely not lesbians, because it is very heteronormative right there.
Yes. This is the
But I will
truth.
say she dated the world's most horrible CEO, Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard, and she did not marry him. But obviously, she does have a
Yes,
thing for
well
bad boys. She
played.
likes
Well,
bad
good
boys.
job. Good.
And I will say
job.
this. I'll say this to you, Cheryl. There's no way you're doing anything in your home. I don't believe that you're sharing.
I do. I believe that she
errands.
is.
You think that her and her partner are like actually cleaning the house? You think that's happening?
No, they have
No.
14 maids for that, but I think they do something
Obviously.
in the home. Like
Okay.
they've never
They
really
do
rewired
something. Okay.
something or like
Well-
wiped the toilet seat down. but
Right,
I'm
like
sure
at
there's
night,
something.
they probably turn the water off after brushing their teeth, right? Like it's
Yeah.
My
You're right.
guess
I
is
get
they
it.
do
I
not
get
have
the water
someone
off every
come in
night.
to
It's
turn it off.
Yeah.
It's a big argument. All right.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yeah.
If you think firing someone is easy, I implore you to sneak into their home and watch them through the changing seasons, through good days and bad.
I don't get that.
What are you talking about?
I think that she wants you to sneak into her house and watch
No,
her
I don't
like
want to do that.
cry
was
about the
someone
people
playing,
she fired that day. I don't know.
Was someone playing Mad Libs or something? Yeah, move on. I don't understand that one.
All right.
No one should be sneaking into anybody's home and
I have
watching.
one
get
more
out of my house.
Cheryl, and then I actually have one who's not Cheryl, that Cheryl didn't say, but was said about her that I thought we couldn't not put in this episode. Oh, I'm almost done. We cannot change what we are not aware of, and once we are aware, we cannot help but change.
Okay. Well, I will say this: way more poetic than the new COO. At least she's trying.
The
Yeah,
The
irony
other
is
guys,
that
other guys, completely
perspective.
dull. The new guy,
I just-
Hobby, completely dull.
I just thought that the irony of this, considering what happened however many months ago with the Facebook papers, the irony was just popping out at me. It's like, oh yeah, we know that we're crushing 11-year-old girls' self-esteem, but what are we going to do about it?
Emma, they'll be 12
Look.
soon. Get over it.
Like, it's hard to fully describe the impact she's having. That would have been a better quote.
Right? And then finally, we have a quote from Zuck, which
Ooh.
should,
Oh,
to Matt and
I
Damien,
think I know. I think I know what you're
Yeah.
gonna pick.
Yeah.
everyone should have a crush on Cheryl.
Yes.
The
That's the one quote I
CEO he's
remember,
worked
yeah.
with for
I don't like
14
this.
years. Everyone
Yeah.
should have a crush on Cheryl. That's a totally appropriate, normal thing to say. Thank you.
Well, as we're about to learn, that's fairly edible because
Yeah.
I'm going to segue into my section of the Cheryl grab bag today.
Let's do it.
I
Thank you,
usually do
Emma.
this, but today I put the news that Cheryl Sandberg is stepping down through our free float optimized rater of scenarios underpinning retiring executives 2000 machine.
Oh, you
Which
found
actually-
the adapter for that one. I thought we lost
Yeah,
the adapter. Good, you plugged it in.
I
Nice.
plugged it in. I found it, and if you didn't notice, the acronym for that is for sure. That's how
I did
clever.
notice. Yeah, 'cause
That's
I
how
was there when we
clever.
named it. Yeah.
It took me like 2 hours to figure that out. And this actually is to figure out all the possible reasons Sheryl Sandberg is leaving Facebook.
Interesting.
So free float staff prediction time.
Yeah.
Which machine guess do you think is the most correct?
Okay.
Which
I like
one
it.
did the foreshore 2000 say that you think is most correct? Here's theory number one that popped out. It had a 34% probability of being true. And the
Okay.
theory was Zuckerberg hit puberty at last.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Oh,
I don't know if I believe that though. Interesting.
Well, here are some stats. Okay, Sandberg was Zuckerberg's work mom, basically
Yeah.
the entire time. She
work
was
no work
38
MILF. Work MILF.
Well, started off as work
Oh.
mom,
According
and
to
then worked
Zuck.
her way to work.
According to your
MILF.
quote, Emma. I'm sorry. I don't
30
usually do that
Wow, that killed the timer too.
According to your quote, Emma. Your quote.
She was 38 when she started. He was 23. But as Mark was stealing the idea for Facebook from MySpace, Friendster, and his college classmates, Cheryl had already gotten her MBA, gotten married, gotten divorced, worked for McKinsey, worked 5 years at Treasury under Larry Summers, worked
Oh,
at
really?
Google, and got married again. So
Sounds like-
she had actually
sounds- yeah.
lived a life while Zuckerberg was in his
Yeah.
pajamas stealing an idea from somebody else that would make him a multi-billionaire. When Mark makes
Okay.
a mess in his room, Mommy Cheryl's always there to clean up. We know this
True.
from the past. Mark had to talk to the principal, talk to Congress. Cheryl goes and asks if this time maybe Congress could just understand Mark is special. They could just go easy on him. And also, P.S. China.
And yeah, and I know you're telling a joke here, Matt. I use air quotes, but this is how the business press personifies Sheryl Sandberg as the only adult at Facebook. Right?
That is
So
correct.
yeah, you're not really joking. Go ahead. keep
Even
going.
as she's stepping down, they actually characterized her as she was the adult in the room. And
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mark, in his letter, said she taught me how to run a company. Like,
Exactly.
This is a problem.
Why isn't she
so,
the CEO?
So finally, now Mark, I think, is rejecting Mommy. Had been hanging out with mommy and a cool Uncle Peter for so long. He's now ready to get an apartment and move out of Cheryl's basement. And that's why Cheryl's leaving. She's just not,
He hit puberty.
He hit puberty.
Yeah, I'm skeptical on that one because he still seems a bit hairless to me. But I'm going to consider. What's next?
It's a 34%
probability.
Theory number 2, 48% probability. Cheryl was about to get fired anyway. That's what the machine said.
Oh, interesting.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
In 2016, Mark openly blamed Cheryl in staff meetings for Cambridge Analytica and Russian interference. She actually confides in her friends that she fears for her job. She was rattled and thinks she might actually lose her job. In 2018, Cheryl's asking staff to investigate George Soros after he criticizes Facebook at the World Economic Forum. She fears there was fears that the criticism would hurt the stock and that he was shorting it, and she's fearing for her job then. In 2021, Zuckerberg tells staff that Cheryl has, quote, good skin and that they should, quote, have a crush on her, as Emma mentioned. I don't know, but if I'm Cheryl, I'm awkwardly fearing for my job at that point, right? Like now we're just openly objectifying her in front of everybody, it's a little awkward. And then in 2022, it breaks that Cheryl used Facebook resources to try and stop the Daily Mail from publishing a story about her then boyfriend and soon-to-be harasser-in-chief Bobby Kotick, his ex-girlfriend, basically. The investigation is pending. But the machine suggests here is that this investigation might be really bad for Cheryl, and it might be the straw that breaks Zuckerberg's back. I mean,
you know what, machine. I don't know if I should be talking to Matt or the machine, but I kind of like this theory. I didn't really think of it that way, but she might have been on her way out. I mean, before I was thinking, like, is Sheryl Sandberg the Prince Charles of the business world? Like, never gets to be king, right? And she never, Mark just sat there on top with all the titles. She never, but I kind of like this. Maybe Mark was done.
She was, and think about this too. Prior to 2016, 2018, Cheryl was the one who went to Congress every single time. Mark didn't really make any appearances.
Always the fall guy.
In the last 2 to 3 years, it's been all Zuck. Zuck's taken over a lot of the political processes. He had dinner with Trump. Cheryl's whole thing was kind of like managing that after a while.
No, and that changed the name of the company, doesn't care about Facebook anymore, got rid of
I think it was
Peter
a slow
Thiel.
I don't think this was Sheryl Sandberg. I kind of agree with the machine. I'm not sure she stepped down because it was her time. And it's the machine suggested this.
What else? What else you got? What else does the machine have for a theory?
Theory number 3. This is a very low probability event, a 1% probability. The machine suggests that Cheryl needed more time to finish her new book, Bend Over, Women, Their Bosses, and Dual-Class Shares with 10x Voting Power. Look, I didn't name it. The machine came out with this. I don't know what
the
your
machine's
problem
terrible. I don't like that.
After consulting with Michelle Obama, apparently, this is what the machine is suggesting. Michelle Obama, who said of Lean In, quote, "It's not always enough to lean in because that shit doesn't work all the time." That's Michelle Obama had to say about it. Cheryl actually realized she needed to write a follow-up. That's what Michelle said. I don't know. Upon reflection, after being a mom to a libertarian dumpster fire college dropout, and then cuddling a serial sexual harasser afterwards, she couldn't tell her corporate story that ignores sort of corporate reality. So she went back to the trough, and her new book expects to have the following chapters in it. This is all the machine thinking. Here's a chapter. It says, "It doesn't matter what you do because boobs." I don't. That's.
I don't understand. Yeah.
It's not great. It's good corporate fodder, I guess. Find a mentor. Just make sure they are a white male billionaire. That's the new chapter. She rewrote that one. Success and likability. The lie that anyone actually likes you. That's a chapter. Speak your truth, but quietly so as not to get fired. That's one of the chapters. And then finally, find a partner or hire one, or if you're poor, you lose. That was the new chapter there.
Really? The machine really killing Cheryl in that theory. I don't like that.
And then the final theory it came up with, 17% probability here. Cheryl is actually just bored and a billionaire and realized I'm wicked smart and it's time to get my kids out of the fucking house.
I like this one.
Think about this, okay? She's tired of reading stories about how she was 38 when Mark was 23. She doesn't want to hear about her skin in the front page. She's worth $1.7 billion conservatively.
That's all?
Conservatively.
Gotta be way more than that. Yeah.
She survives the sudden death of her partner and pushes through and continues to thrive. She makes
very publicly
Facebook profitable. She's jumping off now before the metaverse becomes what she knows will be a total disaster. Total disaster coming, right? Imagine what Facebook is if not for her being there. Imagine what a disaster it would have been. And then finally, this will give her time to actually plan her wedding the way she actually wants to. She's getting out on purpose because I'm a billionaire and F y'all.
Emma, I don't know if you want to weigh in, but I'm gonna go. I'm going with that last theory. I know it's only a 17% probability, but I think that this is kind of like Bob Iger leaving Disney when the coronavirus hit. I think she knows it's time to go.
Metaverse
as much
is
as I
the
want to
coronavirus.
as much as I want to think that Mark was pushing her out, I'm not too sure that Cheryl is not maybe the reason why Facebook was such a success. She might have had a way of corralling Mark into like a non-drooling man. So she might be the reason, and she might realize like this. It's too much. Like she doesn't want to get involved in the metaverse. She doesn't want to, raping people in the metaverse. Like this is too much for anyone, let alone a woman of her stature.
Yeah, she knows that her status as a like pro-abortion, pro-woman person is gonna be compromised if she sticks around.
Do you agreeing with me? You think this theory is the right one? She gave up, or you think she was to be fired? What do you think, Emma?
I don't think that she was gonna be fired. I think it's sort of a combination of the two theories. I think it's
no, it's not how the machine
was
works.
clear
The machine
that she
does
wasn't
not
a
offer that.
culture fit, perhaps. Like that's how they might phrase it as opposed to firing.
Before Matt gets rid of us, can I just point out one thing? I made a point of calling out Cheryl a few weeks ago in a positive way, saying like she's the only one who is making a statement about Roe versus Wade. Isn't it fitting that she's the only one making a statement because she knew she was leaving the corporate world? So
it makes it all worse.
Yeah, we're back to zero. Nobody is saying a goddamn thing. Only the people who know they're leaving the corporate world are saying anything.
Well, she's staying on the board. She's staying on the board.
There you go. Okay.
So that's it.
Cheryl Sandberg Day, everyone.
Cheryl Sandberg, everybody. Thank
Goodbye,
you, Cheryl, for all the memories. And that's Damian Rollis and Emma Lurking. I got beeped for saying what the machine said. Do we want to discuss like what the like?
What,
do we have
yeah,
a problem
what-
with the?
what are the rules
The
about
machine suggested the book name, and you didn't, and you
That's
beeped
true.
it. I mean,
That's
I
Oh
true.
yeah. Hearing the words come out of your mouth was beep worthy enough. Like I don't need anything else.
You know what? The just so you know, the buzzer is also done by AI. We don't actually control the buzzer.
Oh,
It listens for patterns. And I think what it did, Matt, is it picked up the glee of in which you said that. It looked at your eyes go a little bit brighter, a little bit wider, and it buzzed you for that.
Yeah, you were like a kid who says a swear,
love it.
and they know
any
it's bad.
book. I mean, like in her first book, there was a chapter called like "Speak Your Truth," and I love any book where she actually speaks her truth. That she was underneath a dual class dictator and couldn't get anything she might have wanted done for realsies. I like that. I like that. I have to admit it. But you got beat for saying MILF, so
that's true. I stand by that.
Yeah, and that was you. That was that was you. That's
I've never heard a CEO tell
that
the
was
employees
free
that
flow
they should have a crush
hour.
on the COO. It's not my fault. Thank you.
We are Free Flow Media. That was Business Pants. We'll be back tomorrow with our weekly roundup. We'll see you then. Goodbye.